is just like, oh, this is so cute. Look.
So cute, right?
He doesn't get excited as me, but I'm very excited. This is so cute. I'm really proud of you.
Offset demanding a DNA test for the baby. Cardi B had with Stefon Diggs has sparked a massive storm, spilling from courtrooms straight onto social media and into every corner of the internet. Now, with supposed results starting to surface, everything is shifting, and it's only reinforcing what people have been whispering about Offset and Cardi for months. And if that wasn't enough, Diggs is reportedly furious about how this whole situation played out. The tension is loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. This is not just drama. This is full-blown chaos unfolding in real time. Let's break it all down. Back in November 2025, Cardi B welcomed a baby boy into the world. The child arrived on November 4th, and Diggs jumped into the moment publicly, commenting, "There he is, and proud of you, boo." That right there looked like confirmation to a lot of people. By all appearances, this was Cardi and Diggs' child, marking her fourth baby and her first with the NFL star. Cardi already shares her kids' culture, wave, and blossom with Offset. But this new chapter, it hit differently, and almost immediately, things went left. What should have been a happy moment turned into a public spectacle overnight. Screenshots started circulating, allegedly showing Offset posting "My kid LOL" on Instagram after news broke about the baby. 2 words and a laugh, and suddenly the internet was on fire. Cardi didn't stay quiet either. She jumped onto X and went straight at her estranged husband, accusing him of constant harassment and even saying things had gotten so intense that she felt unsafe. That's serious. She told people to leave her alone, made it clear this wasn't a joke, and then just like that, the tweets vanished. Then came the twist. Offset's team stepped in, claiming the viral post wasn't even real. According to them, everything being linked to him was fabricated. So now you've got one side saying he claimed the baby, and another side saying none of it ever happened. And of course, the internet chose chaos. What nobody saw at the time was what was happening behind closed doors. While all this noise was playing out online, things were getting real in court. During the ongoing divorce proceedings between Cardi and Offset, he reportedly made that same bold move, but this time legally. Newly surfaced court documents revealed that Offset formally requested a DNA test for one of Cardi's children. Let that sink in. According to reports, a judge reviewed the request and made a split decision. One request denied, another approved. One yes, one no, and zero clarity for the public. The details completely sealed. The children's identities were redacted, leaving everyone guessing which child was involved. But the timeline had people connecting dots fast. One child was described as a newborn lined up with Cardi's baby with Diggs, while the others pointed back to her children with Offset. And just like that, the speculation exploded again. To really understand why things got this intense, you have to rewind the history between Cardi B and Offset. Their relationship has always been unpredictable, full of breakups, makeups, and headlines that never seem to slow down. They secretly got married back in 2017 in Atlanta, before most people even knew they were serious. From there, they built a family together, welcoming Culture in 2018, Wave in 2021, and Blossom in 2024. But behind the scenes, things were never steady. There were cheating rumors, emotional moments, public apologies, and dramatic reunions that kept repeating like a cycle. One minute they were done, the next they were showing up together like nothing happened. In 2020, they split publicly, but somehow found their way back again. Then in 2024, Cardi officially filed for divorce and pushed for primary custody. By that point, people stopped trying to guess if it was real or just another phase. But then came the plot twist nobody expected. Cardi moved on, and not quietly. She was linked to Stefon Diggs, an NFL star with his own spotlight and his own story. Fans started noticing quickly, questioning whether this was just a rumor or something deeper. Then came the photos, and that's when everything changed. In early 2025, Cardi and Diggs were spotted together, fueling serious dating rumors. The timing raised eyebrows, the connection sparked debate, and suddenly this wasn't just gossip anymore, it felt real. And once that baby arrived later that year, everything exploded all over again. Cardi B kept things light at first, even admitting during a September 2025 interview that she thought Stefon Diggs was cute, saying they met through mutual friends. It sounded casual, almost harmless. But by May 2025, the two were sitting courtside at a New York Knicks playoff game, making their first public appearance together. And by June, it was official. That yacht photo Cardi posted, that wasn't a hint, that was a full statement. The relationship was out there, loud and clear, no confusion at all. But while fans were celebrating Cardi's new chapter, Offset wasn't buying it, not even a little. He threw shade almost instantly, brushing off the entire relationship as nothing more than a rollout to promote Cardi's album, basically calling it fake, staged, all for attention. Whether he meant that or not didn't even matter anymore because what came next showed he wasn't done with the situation at all, not even close. When Cardi gave birth in November 2025, everything escalated fast. That viral Instagram post, real or not, lit the fuse. Because if Offset genuinely believed there was even a chance that the baby was his, the situation just got way more serious than social media drama. Now you've got overlapping timelines, a messy history of breakups and reconciliations, and a newborn caught right in the middle of it all. The questions weren't just messy, they were uncomfortable. Offset clearly had doubts, and he wasn't quiet about them. Behind the scenes and in public, he kept pushing the issue, making it impossible for this to stay private. And even though Cardi had already filed for divorce back in 2024, the situation was far from settled. Custody wasn't finalized, financial issues were still hanging, and now paternity was thrown into the mix. What started as a divorce turned into something way bigger. Something way more complicated. This wasn't just about ending a marriage anymore. It became a question of truth, timelines, and who really stands where in this entire situation. Then February 2026 hit, and everything exploded again. This time, it wasn't a court document that shook things up. It was a football game. Cardi and Diggs suddenly broke up just days before the Super Bowl. The timing? Wild. 1 minute there were talks about a possible proposal. The next minute, it was over. That switch up raised eyebrows instantly. On the night of the game, Cardi performed at the halftime show alongside Bad Bunny, while Diggs was on the field playing for the Patriots. But things felt off. Cardi was seen leaving the stadium early, before the game even ended. Fans noticed right away. Then came the social media clues. Both of them unfollowing each other right after the Patriots lost 29-13 to the Seahawks. That's when people knew something wasn't right. But what really sent the internet into overdrive happened off the field. In a pregame moment, a woman, allegedly linked to Offset's past, was seen telling Diggs, "I love you," while shaking his hand, right next to his mom. That clip, instant chaos. People started connecting dots that may or may not even exist. Was there a link between Diggs and someone from Offset's past? Was it a coincidence? Was it deeper than that? Nobody had answers, but everybody had theories. Sources later claimed the truth might have been more personal than dramatic. One insider said Cardi reached her limit after repeated trust issues, deciding to step back and focus on her kids, her music, and her tour. And just like that, the relationship was over. But the internet didn't let it breathe. 50 Cent jumped in, trolling Diggs right after the loss with a brutal post mocking him for losing both the game and his relationship at the same time. The pile-on was nonstop. Meanwhile, in the background, Offset was still pushing forward legally, still questioning paternity, still refusing to fully step out of Cardi's life. And then, things took an even darker turn. On February 13th, Diggs showed up in a Massachusetts court, pleading not guilty to serious charges tied to accusations from a former employee. His legal team insisted he would be cleared, but the headlines were already everywhere. Now the man Cardi had moved on with was dealing with his own legal storm, while her estranged husband was fighting to prove the child might be his. And just when it felt like things couldn't get any more intense, April 2026 proved everyone wrong. Offset was suddenly hospitalized after a shooting near a casino in Florida. It happened outside the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, reportedly starting as a fight before escalating into gunfire. His team confirmed he was in stable condition, but the shock hit hard. Because this wasn't the first time tragedy had come close to him. Back in 2022, the hip-hop world was shaken when Takeoff lost his life in a shooting at just 28 years old. Now, Offset himself had been shot, and the parallels were impossible to ignore. Everything, from relationships to courtrooms to real-life danger, was colliding all at once. And the situation was spiraling in ways nobody could have predicted. Despite everything falling apart between them, Cardi B still reportedly reached out to Offset after the shooting. A quick check-in, a small moment of humanity in the middle of all that tension. It didn't fix anything, but it showed just how complicated this situation really is. Then just days later, everything shifted again when those February 2026 court documents finally surfaced. And once they hit the public, the internet went straight into overdrive. According to reports, Offset had officially requested DNA tests for 2 of Cardi's children. Not 1, 2. The details were heavily redacted, but one child was labeled as a newborn, which most people immediately linked to Cardi's baby with Stefan Diggs. And here's where things got serious. The judge shut it down, completely denied the request for the newborn, but at the same time, approved a test for another child. That split decision raised even more questions, because now people were trying to figure out, if not the newborn, then who? All signs started pointing toward Blossom, Cardi and Offset's daughter, born in September 2024. The timing alone had people talking. Blossom was born after Cardi had already filed for divorce, and then just months later came the newborn with Diggs. That overlap made everything look messy, and clearly, Offset wanted answers, but the court drew a firm line. From a legal standpoint, this wasn't just drama, it was boundaries. The judge wasn't about to drag someone like Stefan Diggs, who isn't even part of the divorce case, into the middle of it. That matters a lot in family court, and the decision made it clear. One test allowed, one test denied, no confusion from the judge's side. And that's not all. Both Cardi and Offset were also hit with a gag order. That means no public shots, no messy interviews, no social media jabs about each other. The court basically said, keep it quiet, which explains why none of this came out sooner. Neither side could talk until those documents leaked. And when they did, that's when things spiraled into something completely different. A viral post started spreading like wildfire, claiming Cardi had gone live crying, saying a DNA test proved Offset was actually the father of her baby with Diggs, and that Diggs had walked away because of it. Sounds dramatic, right? There's just one problem. That story doesn't match the facts. Here's what's actually confirmed. Offset did try to get a DNA test for the newborn, but the court said no. No test happened. No results exist. No confirmation of anything. That claim, completely unverified. The only test the court approved was for another child, believed to be Blossom, and even that situation hasn't been publicly updated. So all those viral headlines, they're built on assumptions, not actual court outcomes. And Cardi? She's made it very clear how she feels about these rumors. Back in September 2025, during a public moment with reporters, she snapped when questioned about claims that Offset had been bragging about getting her pregnant again. She shut it down immediately, telling them to stop disrespecting her. She hasn't changed her stance since. As for Diggs supposedly leaving her, that doesn't seem to line up either, because in April 2026, something interesting happened. Diggs showed up to support Cardi at her Little Miss Drama tour stop in Washington, D.C. Not quietly either. He was seen at the show, then later at her after party. And it didn't stop there. Cardi was spotted leaving the club shortly after Diggs and his family, walking straight to his car, talking with him, and then getting in the passenger seat before they drove off together. That doesn't look like a clean breakup. That looks complicated. And that's really what this whole situation comes down to. This story sits right in the middle of a messy divorce, overlapping relationships, legal battles, and non-stop online speculation. Every gap gets filled with the most dramatic version possible, and people run with it. But when you strip it back to what's actually proven, Offset wanted answers. That part is real. The court set limits. That's also real. And the biggest claim of all, that a DNA test proved anything about the newborn, that part, just doesn't hold up. No results, no confirmation, just noise. Meanwhile, Cardi is still on tour, Diggs is still showing up around her, and the divorce case is still wide open. Nothing is fully resolved, and until it is, the speculation isn't going anywhere.